Dr. Kennedy, A Century in Inferno contains adult themes and language and is not suitable for children under the age of 18. Listener discretion is advised. Dr. Kennedy, A Century in Inferno is a TTRP theater media production created by C.T. Wilkins, Duke Walter, and Chris Stonecipher. Written by Duke Walter. Directed by C.T. Wilkins. Dr. Kennedy is played by Chris Stonecipher. Duke Walter is the Game Master. Production design and engineering by Positive Thinking Studio. Music and sound elements provided by Epidemic Sound. Visit ttrptheater.com and tell us what you think of Dr. Kennedy, A Century in Inferno.
Inferno is a place of terror, suffering, and unspeakable beauty. It is a world of winding staircases, yawning shafts, torture chambers, majestic halls, and dark catacombs. In Inferno's endless labyrinths, the traveler can encounter raging storms, devoted pilgrims, and grand and terrible sights. Blind augurs bend over autopsy tables of stainless steel, desperately trying to discover truths and predictions in steaming entrails. Nailed to nightmarish monuments, entranced lunatics sing their praises to the death angels and pain itself. Here, Astaroth and his death angels rule from their enormous citadels. Those seeking answers to the riddles of time and space may find hidden truths in Inferno's lofty towers, abandoned libraries, or in prostration before its alien cogwheels and machines. In deep meditation, the Nephirites stretch out their minds to find paths into Elysium, tasting our ripe world, luring the unwary, and trying to slip through. Our torture institutions, prisons, death camps, and psychiatric hospitals all border on Inferno, as are countless other places baptized in blood and suffering. The home of a serial killer, mass graves after innumerable executions, and war zones. A world so distant, yet so terrifyingly close. You come to consciousness lying face down on the ground. You hear a muffled drone through a sticky membrane. This low hum in the background is wrought from your mind as you start to move, and the sound of blood and viscera as you try to escape again from this placenta that you have been reborn in. It smells of tea leaves and bile, and again you find yourself vomiting. As you reach and tear through the organ that has enveloped you, you again find yourself naked and covered in the slime of this rebirth. The sky above you is a pale green, almost like the same sky that you had seen once in the Midwest of the United States of America as a thunderstorm approached. There is no sun in the sky, no clouds, and you are surrounded by wildflowers, a rainbow of colors. What do?
I just sort of whisper to myself at first. I suppose it brings new meaning to what fresh hell is this? And then I just start looking around. Do I see any structures, any sign of life of any kind?
You sit for a few moments, taking in what seem to be endless fields and low hills rolling away from you. Nothing but the color of these flowers, the greens and oranges and reds and yellows, purples and blues and small flowers and large flowers, and a gentle breeze starts to blow through. You are cold. It hits your moist body and sends a chill through you. You see no buildings, and you see no other signs of life. You are still sitting in the pile of this slimy sack that you have just torn through. Ernie, roll Observe a Situation. Plus perception.
That is an 11.
An 11. You get to ask one question.
What is being hidden from me?
The thing being hidden from you is that you haven't moved very far from where you were stomped to death by that crowd. The scenery has changed, but you're almost in the same place.
The tower that I was trying to get to when I was trying to move through that crowd, do I see that in the distance?
Roll See Through the Illusion, plus Soul.
A 14.
14. The flowers remain, but As you turn from left to right, looking over your shoulder, you swivel your head around, and just slightly behind you, off in the distance, you can see that tower. It doesn't seem to be any closer or any further away, but it is there. And the color of the sky changes from green to this deep orange, as if fire and smoke are filtering all of the light here. What do you do?
Well, I suppose I have my goal once again, and that shiver goes down his spine again, and I try to pick my way off this little meat sack and look around one more time before I start heading back that direction towards the tower again.
You begin walking, and this field of flowers, it's a soft grass underneath, and it feels cool on your feet. And as you are walking, the flowers are ankle high, maybe reaching up to your calf. And you walk a little further. The landscape just keeps stretching out in front of you in this rainbow of colors. And you walk for 5 minutes and 10. And then you feel something scrape along your right leg, just below your calf. Do you keep walking? What do you do?
I'd like to see if I can see what made the scrape.
Are you just going to look down? Are you going to bend down? Are you going to go to a knee? What are you doing to see what it is?
So I think by this time I've realized that I'm going to be trying to reach this goal, but this land, this area just isn't really going to let me. So I just kind of look down to see if I can see any movement nearby. And if I don't see what, scraped by me or whatever, then I'll probably just keep moving, because whatever it is going to stop me in a more tangible way later on anyway.
It seems like it was just one of the plants that you were walking through. You see that the leaves, they're almost like thistle leaves a little bit. Some very sharp points on the ends of the leaves. And then you take another step and another, and you continue going in that direction. And you can see that the flowers are still there, but some of the grasses are growing a little higher, and some of the flowers are a little bit taller. And as you continue to walk on, they're about mid-calf, just below your knee at this point. And they begin to become sharper. And there are some small yellow flowers, and as you walk through and continue on, you walk through this small patch of yellow flowers, and all of a sudden there are half a dozen little star thistles that are stuck in your left calf. Sharp, pointed, barbed, painful.
I'll probably just let out that pained grunt that is usually accompanied by an expletive, but they'll be in German.
Okay.
Because even though I don't think that there's anything specifically like, poised to leap out and take me down or anything, I still don't want to be very loud in this place. And I'll pull the star thistles out of my thigh and try to toss them aside.
As you pull out these small barbed flowers, little pinpricks of blood appear where they were and start running down your calf and over your foot. You continue walking toward the citadel, and the flowers and the grasses continue to get a little bit higher and a little bit higher as you are walking through, and they continue to get sharper, thornier. You eventually end up with multiple scrapes and tiny cuts from about your lower thigh down to your feet. I need you to roll Endure Injury, please, plus Fortitude.